G'day there guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. I do hope you enjoy today's episode. Now sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the barbie, and let's get right into it. Posted by user Birthday Book, titled, Am I the asshole for wanting to keep an expensive birthday gift that makes my boyfriend uncomfortable? I, female, just turned 25, have a friend Logan, male 25, and we've been friends since we were 7 to 8 years old. I have a boyfriend, Matt, who I've been dating for 7 months. My birthday was last week, and I had a dinner party for some friends before we all went out to a club. There was 8 of us, including Logan and Matt. We had a little bit of a gift opening before dessert, and Logan gifted me an old copy of The Great Gatsby. The book has a special significance to us because for many years, Logan and I lived in different countries. We kept in contact, but we didn't see each other in person for about 4 years. We finally got our parents to agree for me to fly to his country to visit in 2013. We were talking about what we were going to do on the visit, and I really wanted to go and see The Great Gatsby movie, which had just come out, as it is my favorite book. Logan had never even heard of it, and I said that he had to read it before we went to see the movie. Logan was never academic, and to this day, it is the only fiction book he has ever read all the way through, not counting children's books. Whenever I ask him to do me a favor, he always replies with, I read The Great Gatsby for you, so I may as well. And it's a running joke. We always go on big birthdays, but this book means so much to me. The day after, Matt said he felt the book was an inappropriate gift because of how expensive it is. I tried to explain to him that it's just a sentimental gift and that the cost isn't the point. But Matt said he feels weird that another man gifted me something that costs more than his car. This argument went on for a long time, and Matt said that he thinks I should return the book, and if it means so much to the both of us, then Logan can keep it. I told him to grow up. We've been having this fight on and off for a week. Matt's saying that it's reasonable for him to be uncomfortable, but I think he's being a jealous child. It's not like Logan gave me a diamond necklace just to show off. He gave me something heartfelt that means the world to me, and I think that that should be more important than the fact that Matt thinks it's outside what he deems an acceptable budget. My mother is saying to give Matt the benefit of the doubt, and maybe ask Logan to keep the book for now, and if one day Matt is more secure, I can take it back. My dad is saying Matt's an idiot. My girlfriends are split. This argument is just dragging on, and I'm leaving for my birthday trip tomorrow, and I just need some perspective on whether I'm being unreasonable, wanting to keep the book. There was a YouTube segment of Olivia Colman and Emilia Clarke having tea together, and Olivia said her, "What's your favorite item in your wardrobe?" or something similar, and she said, "A beautiful Chanel cardigan that I really love, but have never worn because it just doesn't suit me." And it just reminded me of that. It's not that I don't absolutely adore Logan, I do. I can unreservedly say that he's my favorite person in the whole world. But if you ask me why I'm not in a relationship with him, I don't have a concrete answer, because there's nothing about him I don't like, but it just never happened. And I think he would say the same thing. When I think of the way that he was with his ex and the ones that I've had, including Matt, I don't see us being that way / those people for each other. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I think I might be the asshole because obviously by keeping the book, I'm hurting Matt in some way. And maybe at this point in our relationship, his feelings should mean more to me than the book. I can understand why you feel like you're hurting Matt, as he has made that apparent, though I don't know how truthful that is personally. I think the hurt comes more from a jealousy between you and Logan. I think he also may feel a little bit threatened by this too, and that's why he's rallying people to get on his side for you to give it back. And given that last bit of description, I don't think he's wrong for feeling that way. It seems as though there is a bit of a blurred line with you and Logan. But I don't think this is serious enough to warrant you giving the book back. I think this is something that he just needs to trust you with, and if he doesn't trust you, that speaks to more problems in your relationship than just on surface level here, you know? As it stands right now, I'm actually going to go no assholes here. I don't think enough has happened to warrant anyone really being an asshole. Like, I can see where Matt's coming from. In the comments, Beck2010 says, "Your dad is a smart man. Listen to him. Logan gave you a gift that holds sentimental significance to the both of you. If it had been a girlfriend who had given it to you, Matt wouldn't care. He cares only because he's jealous. Not the asshole, keep the book. And to put a little perspective on how Matt needs to stay in his own lane, you've known or been with Matt for 7 months. Logan has been your friend for 204 months. Logan is a long-term friend. Matt has been in your life for a hot minute. Edit to add, please secure the book. Matt may destroy it, hide it, or even sell it. And maybe you should break up with Matt. Per your mother, he's insecure. I'm with Dad. And so am I. Matt should respect the long friendship and see things in perspective. 7 months versus 204 months is crystal clear. Me too. Before we married, my husband was told that if he couldn't accept that my best friend in the universe was a guy and live with it, there would be no us. He figured out how to overcome his insecurities in no time at all. Not the asshole, OP. Dragonfly OK says, not the asshole. It's a lovely and thoughtful gift. His insecurities are his to deal with. Perhaps Reddit has ruined me a bit, but please keep the book in a safe place for now so Matt can't do something like selling it behind your back. This space is wild to me. You reverse the sexes and it's a pick-me girl or a homewrecker trying to steal your man. Are we sure Logan is cool with just friends? No assholes here. Keep the book, good insurance policy if nothing else, but I can totally see where your boyfriend is coming from and his feelings are valid. He is insecure in your relationship. He should be. You've been together 7 months. Your friend has a much closer and longer relationship with you than he does. Inside running joke that isn't terribly funny or witty. Marla Burse asks, OP, what makes Great Gatsby your favorite book? And OP replies, well, firstly, my dad gave me a copy of it and said he loved it, and I hero worshipped him as a kid, so that was a setup. And I love the aesthetic, I guess. It really started a love affair with the 20s. I still love Art Deco anything, and Fitzgerald's writing made it come so alive for me. And yeah, I'm going to get batted for this, but when I was little, I loved the story. When you grow up watching fairy tales, the book feels like a grown-up version. Every little girl wants to be loved so much that a man will throw 100 parties in the hope that she'll come. Obviously, as an adult, you get the nuance, and it's not so much a love story as the story of falsity of the American dream and a pathologically obsessed and really short-sighted man and the woman he couldn't free from her gilded cage. And that's still beautiful in a different way. I love it just as much now, just differently. Update. So I got some requests for an update, and I did say I tried to post one here, so here it is. Coming to you from a Mediterranean island that has been very unkind to my waistline. I just want to first say a huge thank you for all the responses. Internet strangers get a bad rap, but I really appreciate all the advice. So first update, Matt and I broke up. He didn't end up coming on my birthday trip, but we were kind of talking on and off, and he sent me a text that dropped the L-bomb, and I didn't respond in kind. That was the last straw for him. Now that I think about it, that was the next hurdle that was coming. This just brought it forward, I guess. He'll be picking up his things over the weekend. I would like us to stay friends. I still like him so much, but I know that's not really up to me now. I told my mom about the breakup, and she apologized for making me feel like I was in the wrong about keeping the book. She said she was just so used to seeing me treat men as disposable, and because I'd been with Matt for so long, she thought that maybe he might not be, and she got too caught up in that. I think hearing that I wasn't even ready to say I love him was a shock to her, and she realized she had been telling herself a story about him and me that wasn't what was playing out. On to me and Logan. Obviously, a whole wealth of opinions and advice was shared about our friendship, and honestly, going through the comments on the post was the first time I'd really ever thought that deeply about our relationship. It brought up a lot of memories and feelings, and I did end up talking to Logan about it and telling him about the original post. I ended up making notes of some people's questions and asking him. I really wish I could include all of his answers here because I think his responses were pretty funny. That said, word limit, so I'll keep the answers short. Logan did not buy the book as a way to express romantic interest, and the plot was not relevant to his choice to purchase it. Logan has never wanted to date me. Feelings are complicated. Obviously, there was more we talked about, but I'll just leave you with another metaphor since the cardigan one was such a hit. Sometimes a thin gold chain will sit in your jewelry box for a decade, and over the years it'll tangle, and the knot will be so inextricable that you can't tell where the chain ends or begins. It would take a long time to pick that apart. Some people get out their magnifying glass and a good lamp and work until the chain is good as new, and some people might decide to just put it back in the box before they break it. We're trying to be the first, but the second might end up being okay. We'll see. I think that's everything. Thank you to everyone who responded. I laughed, I cried, I had an existential crisis. It was a wild ride. In the comments, Pretend Ty says, I feel like some context is missing that was from OP's comments. She and Logan are rich. Matt is middle class. The book is a 1925 copy with paperwork, and she considers it the same amount as spending money on an upscale restaurant or buying a car. She wouldn't answer comments about if Logan asked her out if she would date him after the initial shock, citing that she could speculate all she wanted, but it wouldn't matter because he wasn't going to ask her, though she very much denied they had feelings for each other and that Logan wouldn't confess after all these years. She's moved cities and followed Logan to college, including annoying her dad into driving 5 hours to support him at a career event. She and Logan also bonded heavily after both their parents divorced, and Logan was previously in a 4-year-long relationship that didn't work out. OP felt Matt was being too controlling over this event, and that if she conceded to this, Matt would ask her to give up other things to ask her to stop hanging out with Logan. She doesn't think that Matt needs to trust Logan as long as he can trust her. She also asked comments if their relationship with Logan was normal for friendship, with very mixed responses, and did admit that she could get behind the idea of her and Logan being codependent. Edit. Oh yeah, and Logan also regularly pays for her to go on vacation. Second edit that I forgot, she also said she couldn't imagine her and Logan dating since they already knew everything about each other, and she viewed dating as getting to know someone. She said she didn't know what they would talk about on dates, but never admitted if she wanted to date Logan or not if he asked. Third edit 12 hours later because, oh my god, of course there's more I forgot. OP and Logan wrote letters to each other every week for years. Also, Matt is the first boyfriend she's had long enough to celebrate her birthday with, and Logan is somewhat territorial. Ooh, yes, this. I believe she also mentioned how even though it wasn't a competition, she's known Logan for longer, and therefore he would always be important and special, whereas boyfriends come and go, and she would feel the same about any partner with a childhood best friend. This one kinda blows my mind a bit. Her mum was 100% right in that she treats men as disposable. She flat out says she does by admitting what you said. To each their own, but I absolutely would not want to be with someone who's always going to consider me second to someone else, and whose idea of partnership isn't, we're in this together, but, oh well, partnerships come and go. She should stick to casual dating if that's going to be her attitude. Yup. Dated Matt for 7 months, but still didn't feel all that attached to him. 7 months, and she still wasn't even ready to say that she loved him? But the guy that he doesn't have to worry about is like a sweater that's amazing and beautiful and perfect, but she just doesn't wear. Jeez. I'm not that blown away by the love thing. I'd take longer saying that to anyone as well. But the fact that she is completely emotionally unavailable and doesn't realize it blows me away. Logan fills her emotional boyfriend slot without being her actual boyfriend, and she has no problem treating all the other contenders as less than. She really should either emotionally distance herself from Logan and give other guys a fair chance and stop her sad pick-me dance with him, or just stop dating anyone else and just wait around until Logan finally decides to give her a chance. Logan is her boyfriend in every way except having sex, so she dates people for that side of things, and they never stand a chance of being anything other than someone to fulfill that need that Logan doesn't. She's pretty young and has never had a romantic relationship that would last a year. Even from reading just the posts and not the comments, it looks like she doesn't have the whole emotional thing figured out. She doesn't understand and recognize her own emotions. She doesn't seem to know what she wants from a relationship. She doesn't seem to be able to emotionally commit to someone. The final metaphor with the necklace is so weird. Who's the necklace? Her and Logan? Just her? And what is that supposed to mean? She just needs to mature emotionally. She's definitely not ready for anything serious. Maybe she'll grow to understand what she wants, but maybe relationships aren't her thing at all. There is nothing wrong with not wanting commitment. She's committed to Logan in a way. Maybe she'd prefer just to have casual sexual partners with no emotional strings attached. Or maybe she'd want to also be romantically involved with Logan. We don't know, but it also seems that she doesn't know either. Yeah, I really like that string of comments personally because it really doesn't seem like she knows what she wants, or maybe she does know and she's intentionally keeping everyone else in the dark. I'd like to say that idealistically she brings this up with Logan and either he commits to her or she cuts him off because that's so unhealthy, that dynamic between them. But realistically, I don't think that that's going to happen. I think he's going to keep her around for the rest of their lives. It's honestly such a sad kind of situation to be caught up in, and it seems like it only benefits Logan because he just has her as an emotional bond whenever he wants, but she doesn't get what she really wants by the sounds of it. And along the way, she hurts countless people that she gets in relationships with and then disposes of. Ouch. Our next post is by user Guilty Schedule, titled, "Am I wrong for not giving my sister my baby? I am aware how insane this title is, but hear me out. It's me, female 28, my husband Lucas, 39, and my younger half-sister, dad's side, Leah, 24. My husband and I met through work 5 years ago, but didn't date right away. We tied the knot by eloping 2 years ago, as I predicted Leah would cause wedding drama. Leah herself had a failed engagement 1 year ago. We gave her our condolences, but she said if I really cared, I would stop wearing my engagement ring around her, flaunting it. I obviously did not take it off. It's a vintage ring that is an heirloom in Lucas's family. I'm now 5 months pregnant with a baby girl. She wasn't planned, but she's a very welcome surprise. Lucas is so excited to be a girl dad, it's very funny. Ever since I announced my pregnancy, it wasn't a fancy thing just over dinner. Leah has been very snippy and standoffish with me. Fine, it didn't really affect me. We're not close. But then I noticed when we'd go to visit my dad, or are at family gatherings, she's very touchy with Lucas. She giggles at every joke he makes. Doesn't really bother me. I'm secure in my marriage, and if anything, it makes her look silly. We had a blended family event with both mum and dad's side, and we were discussing baby names when Leah freaked out, screeching at me that she's the one who deserves a husband and a baby, not me. I never wanted marriage or kids. I was focused on getting a career, and stormed off. Later on, my dad and his wife said that she shouldn't have shouted, but I was flaunting my marriage and pregnancy when I know she had a failed engagement and had always wanted a baby. I thought that was it, but yesterday the three of them asked to talk, and they came over to ours, and they legitimately asked if I would give Leah my baby. Like, they weren't joking. They said it seriously. They said she deserved it more than me, as she wouldn't neglect being a mother for a career. Lucas was stunned, but then promptly got them out of the house. I heard Leah clinging to his arm, telling him she could be a good stay-at-home mum. My mum and her side of the family are furious. Leah's mum said that it was malicious of me to tell my mum's family, and that I had really upset Leah when we eloped, so I had to make it up to her, and that my mum doesn't get a say. What the actual fa? Edit, just to address some things. Yes, unfortunately this is real, and it happens often. Look up the case of Taylor Parker. This whole thing is really stressful. I'm immunocompromised, so I'm really feeling run down and have to be careful. Lastly, Lucas is actually Swedish, so that is an option to those of you who have suggested moving. It's going to answer the question right off the bat here, OP. I don't think you're wrong for not giving your baby over to this absolutely insane woman. At this point, I do feel like you risk your life being in danger here. I would just move to Sweden. As much as you may, yes, be stung by increased taxes on your income and everything else, I'd say the safety of your family trumps whatever money you save by not moving. I'm just going to say it, I think Leah needs to be institutionalized. She doesn't sound well, she sounds very much unhinged, and in needing of an evaluation. Maybe too, those parents that are supporting her in this endeavor, because who the hell do they think they are for that? Oh my god. This also just seems like something that's going to escalate given time. This doesn't feel like something that's going to go away. But yeah, as it stands, definitely not wrong for this, OP. I'm stressed for you. In the comments, Creed the Dog says, "Your sister and her mother are certifiably insane. You need to remove them from your life, because they might decide to take your baby if you stay in contact." I agree. Is there a cultural aspect at play here? It's just hard to understand how her parents, sister, and family all want them to give up a baby to a single mother, of which I can presume has no job or financial support outside of her parents. No, from the stay-at-home comments, she wants Lucas too. Don't let this become a true crime story, OP. I think you and your husband, and your mum and all her relatives are the sane ones here, and I would strongly enforce boundaries and go very low contact with anyone in your family who would try to steal your baby from you, or even suggest it. I expect once your baby is born, more of those mama bear feelings will get activated. Put up security cameras and log everything on your list of baby-proofing your house. Let your local friends and neighbors know if there are ever any shenanigans and things to watch out for. The key is not to be paranoid, but build the kind of boundaries and monitoring of them that means that you don't have to be. Zola Rosea says, "This is a level of derangement where I think it can't possibly be true. If it is, cut them all out forever and get a restraining order because she is psychotic and dangerous. Don't let them anywhere near your child, nor near any child you have." I wonder now what was the reason the engagement got ended. Methinks the ex decided he didn't want to deal with her brand of crazy anymore and bowed out. Update. Hi guys, just wanted to give you all an update as you asked for it. I saw it made it onto a TikTok podcast, which was amusing. If someone wants to pass them this update along, please do. Point 1. Obviously I'm not actually asking if I should give Leah my baby. I was venting. Sorry if I put it in the wrong sub. Lucas and I are in Sweden right now on vacation and have explored the possibility of moving here. He works for a Swedish company in the US anyway, so it would just be a case of moving, and my work is fluid. I can pick up a job in most countries. I've asked my mum if she would think about coming with us. We would help her set up and make sure that she was looked after, and this way she can see her grandbaby whenever, rather than being an ocean apart. Leah is fuming apparently, sulking, and being an all-round awful person. Yeah, but when wasn't she OP? In the comments, Jasper Jamboree says, "Leah can't see that her behavior is probably the very reason why she has a failed engagement and doesn't have a baby. That would send any sane person running. I can imagine that Leah was never told no as a child and got everything she wanted. She's furious that she can't get the one thing she wants, and she's insane for feeling entitled to swapping with OP's life by trying to openly take her partner and baby. Honestly, moving to another country would be logical because who knows how much further Leah can spiral into dangerous territory. I said it elsewhere, but I wouldn't be surprised if Leah escalated into claiming that OP's husband was interested in her and sending her secret messages, and at some point claiming sexual harassment. If they think that asking OP to hand over the baby is rational behavior, then they're unhinged enough to make a false SA or harassment claims. Flaunting her marriage and pregnancy by being married and pregnant? I wonder how OP's sister copes around other married parents. How dare she exist in her sister's sphere? Do you think the sister realizes that her own parents are married? How dare they flaunt it around her? And had a baby. Oh, the audacity! The audacity of having a baby! It's her! It's Leah! Sadly, there is enough messed up people out there who feel entitled to someone else's life. Yes, including their kids and partners. Maybe if the sister had gone to therapy, she could have dealt with whatever resentment she has towards OP and her own failed engagement, and all of that drama could have been avoided. I hope OP gets to move to Sweden with her hubby and baby, because frankly, her sister is unhinged and dangerous, and shame on their father and his wife for enabling her insanity. Sadly, if the sister doesn't get help, she'll eventually turn her anger and jealousy onto someone else. A married friend, a pregnant cousin, etc., etc. Agreed. After hearing that, I told my sister-in-law that should she ever need it, I would be her surrogate. A friend told me that I should give her, the friend, my baby after I give birth in October. She was serious. Gee, I wonder why Leah's engagement failed. I can't possibly fathom why anyone would want to run screaming from her. Absolutely bewildering. I know, right? Leah's just adorable with her little quirks and demands. Why OP has an issue is beyond us. Signed, Leah's nuttier than squirrel poop parents. I can understand OP coming to Reddit. Sometimes there are just things that are too egregious, they trip your brain and make you question your reality. And family posing, let us take your baby, as a serious request, is one of them. OP needs to get the far away from her family. My brother-in-law was pissed because my husband, the baby of the family, and the mostly forgotten child, got married first, and we had the first grandchild/grandson. He tried to kidnap my son as a baby, and then again as a teen. Husband told him that he was lucky that I wasn't there because it took both husband and father-in-law beating on him with a giant mag light and a 2x4 to get him off my son. We keep a shotgun under the seat of the truck during hunting season and for defense on road trips, secure and locked. It's specifically a .20 gauge, so my little self can handle it. I don't know how to say that. I'm not American, I don't use guns. Anyway, if anyone were to be using a 20 gauge shotgun in this story, it seems like Leah would be the one taking it to the family so that she could steal the baby from them. Even more reason to move to Sweden, honestly. Get out of there, OP. It honestly does sound like a good update, although it doesn't seem like the last update. It seems like they're setting up to move to Sweden, but it hasn't happened yet, and Leah is still a problem, and no one's done anything about it, so while I'm happy about it, I'm feeling pretty blue-balled by this update, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave today's episode. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.